Choose whatever you're comfortable. If you're comfortable with paper, go for that. If you're comfortable with computer-based test, go for that. You have to set a realistic time limit and do it. Otherwise, you are not going to feel like you are ready, and you will probably, miss the chance. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Agnes, and in this channel I make videos about health and nutrition, lifestyle, career, basically how to intentionally design a life that you love. So that's my goal, so I'm just taking you along for the journey. In this particular video, I am sharing my experience of writing a computer-based IELTS test in India. So if you are someone who is looking forward to give the test, or if you're planning to go abroad for studying or work, this might be helpful for you. I was very hesitant to book the test because it's pretty expensive. It costs around 15,000 rupees in India to take this test, and IDP is the only provider for the test right now. British Council does not give IELTS test anymore in India. I was planning to take the test for like a year or so. So what happened is that I keep putting it off, thinking that if I am prepared, I could crack it in one go and save some money. But waiting to take the test after you are ready is not a good idea. So first book the test and then do the preparation. You have to be realistic, so you have to find some time. I wrote IELTS test with a few days of preparation, and I got a band that was way better than I expected. That got me thinking, maybe it's something in the way I studied. With a 4 or 5 days, you can do it. So I got a band 8 overall. I got 9 for reading, 8.5 for listening, and 7.5 for speaking, and a 7 for writing. Writing is my weakest part, but I don't need more than 7 for writing for my purpose. So what I felt is that IELTS is not that difficult, but you have to understand and prepare for the structure of the exam more than the content. It's basically a test for English, so the content is your language capability, but you have to be familiar with the structure of the test. So we'll discuss all the steps and tips one by one. First one, understand the structure of IELTS. There are 4 sections: listening, writing, speaking, and reading. So every section except speaking will be conducted on the day you pick, but speaking will be conducted a few days before or after the day you pick. So I'm not going to go deep into the structure of this test in this video, because there's a lot of information on the internet about the structure, how many parts, how many questions, everything. So you can check that out. There are a lot of videos. Maybe I'll link some down. Then number 2 is that understand your requirement. Why are you writing IELTS, and what is the minimum score that you need? And in some cases you need the maximum score you can get. In some other cases you just need to pass the cutoff. Then number 3 is assess your knowledge. So there are demo tests on IDP's website and on British Council's website. You can go and take the demo tests, and when you are taking the demo tests, time your test and check how much you are able to complete. Also, they'll give you a guide. There are almost 4 tests in that guide. Time it and see how much you can score without any preparation. Now you know where you stand and what are the areas you have to improve. So now go ahead and book the exam first, because otherwise you are not going to feel like you are ready, and you will probably miss the chance by delaying the exam. So just go ahead and book the exam. You'll get a date after a month or so, probably, based on the number of people taking the tests. Go ahead and book the exam. Otherwise, there is this Parkinson's law. Work expands to the time it's allotted, so you have to set a realistic time limit and do it. You have to be disciplined and do it, because it's a waste of money if you have to take the test again. You may not need the time you think you need. So you schedule 1 hour or so for every day to prepare and stick to it. Be disciplined. Whenever you feel like procrastinating, think about your why. Visualize how it's going to be if you don't get the test, and then you have to spend time and energy again. Just think about it, visualize it, and get the motivation going. So another way is that just set a fixed time like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. and just give 1 hour, and just don't even think about procrastinating. Just go and do it every day, or just try doing it for like 5 minutes or so. And if you're so not in the mood, just doing it for 5 minutes might reduce the friction and kick you out of that procrastination state. So try that. That's all about it. And I personally explored 2 channels. There's a blog, IELTS List. That blog is really good. Then there is E2 IELTS. It's a YouTube channel which is pretty good. And there are mock speaking tests on YouTube, and you will get an understanding of how they are assessing a person, and there are criteria in every stage. So you can look at it, but don't worry about it, don't think too much about it. Also, one other resource I tried was this YouTube channel called Sam and Ash, and they have a 10-hour session on IELTS. And if you can spend that much time, just do it. You can watch it on 1.5 speed or something and save some time. They'll explain everything, the structure, every questions. It's very beneficial. It was very beneficial to me. So that's one. Also, E2 IELTS has this, I'll link everything down below. E2 IELTS has this condensed episodes where they give all the tips for listening, all the tips for writing, things like that. So that's also very beneficial. You can go in detail if you have time, but if you are on a very limited time, try this. Also, just go through and try the questions in the Cambridge guide. That's pretty much what I did. And when it comes to the exam day experience, speaking test was online. So I chose computer-based test because I'm pretty comfortable with computer-based test. My handwriting is not good at all, and I would get very conscious if I'm writing it on paper. Also, if you're someone who reads on a computer every day, I read everything on a screen. I have my tablet, laptop, phone. I don't typically use any paper at all. So if you're someone like that, computer would be comfortable for you. And they have this highlight feature on computer-based test, and you can highlight the words while going through reading, and it helped me a lot to score a band 9 in reading, I think. And another important factor is that I was already doing a lot of video calls at work, so doing speaking test through a video call didn't seem different to me. It was just like another conference call, and it was fine. The sound quality is very good. They give you headsets, and the computer based one is very good. Like, you get your results in 2-3 days. It's executed very well. Choose whatever you're comfortable. If you're comfortable with paper, go for that. If you're comfortable with computer based test, go for that. Just do your research, and there are a few differences between computer based and written tests. So do your research and see which one suits you. I will link all the resources down in the description. Another thing is that I think I was pretty good at listening to things in English. So you can listen to podcasts. They are really good because for listening, podcasts will help. Also, you have to pick accents, mostly British or Australian. It won't be, and we consume a lot of media in American accent, movies, series, but I feel like the rate of media that we consume in British accent is very low. But when it comes to IELTS, the most of the questions and most of the conversations are in British accent, and if you are not comfortable with British accent or Australian accent or any European accent, you have to train your brain for that. Listen to some podcasts. You can listen to them while you're in the gym or cooking or driving or whenever you are free. Also, for writing, I took general trainings. For writing, it's a letter and an essay, and you don't have to write a lot. It's just 250 words. One thing I think affected my writing score is that I use Grammarly all the time, and spellings, I don't even look at them, just Grammarly corrects it automatically. But you have to be really careful, and if you have a very limited vocabulary, that could be a problem. So practice writing, just write something every day on a Word document, go through example essays and just write them. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So I hope this video becomes useful to someone. If you are still here, thank you so much. I made this video because whenever I go online, I feel like there's a lot of people saying IELTS is very difficult. It depends on you, it's very subjective, and if you have the confidence, if you are above average in English, if you are working and using English on a daily basis, it may not be that difficult for you. So it's all about understanding the structure, and focus is very important because there's only a limited amount of time. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching the video. If you are still here, subscribe to the channel if you like the video. See you in the next video.